So the 2020 Magners Cheltenham Gold Cup. At the moment, last year's winner, Album Photo, is your 7-2 favourite. Santini has now been enhanced to 9-2 with BetVictor. 5-1 Delta Work, 6-1 Lost in Translation, 7-1 Clandazobo, 7-1 Kemboy, 10-1 Presenting Percy, Chris's Stream 20-1, 20-1 Manley, and 25-1 Bar. I wasn't going to start with you, Mikey, but as soon as you said you wouldn't back Santini at 33-1, we're going to start with you. Why will Santini not win?
There's a hole in him. He won't get up the hill. He's no chance.
The hill won't be his problem. He wants that.
Yeah, you need to get up the hill.
Does he not want a hill?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Right, what'll win it, so? You're doing an awful lot of crossing out there.
I've it down to 3.
Go for it.
The Irish farm, I can't have the Leopardstown farm. I don't know why this year. They're all on top of each other, and none of them hit the line like a Gold Cup winner. They were all complaining the ground wasn't soft enough. It's going to be 3-2 maybe on soft ground. Native River is gone, so like he was going to take him a real good gallop, I'd imagine. But don't have Delta Work, don't have Kemboy. None of the rest of them. Clandazobo won't get up the hill. Santini won't get up the hill. That leaves me with Album Photo, Lost in Translation, and the only question mark I have is over Pat Kelly. How fit, I don't know how fit this horse was in Leopardstown. He never got 5 or 6 proper backhanders into just. Do you know when a lad is like they said we're going to make more use of him after the first day? You'd think a jockey will go out and go, well, feck you, I'm going to have you coming backwards now. If he still rode him, I thought, with a view to the Gold Cup, maybe, which is, it's going to be a master stroke. Still couldn't have him, so it leaves me Album Photo and Lost in Translation. The stats are against me for Album Photo to win back-to-back Gold Cups. Tremor done it well, just Lost in Translation. I'll forgive him the last day. I think he'll win it if he goes back to that, and then Album Photo to chase him home.
Lovely. So it is Lost in Translation to beat Album Photo. It was Mikey Fogarty's 2020 Cheltenham Gold Cup 1-2. He's just slated your favourite horse in training, Donn McClean. He just said Delta Work has no chance.
Oh, no,
you're all
no
over
chance.
Delta Work.
No,
sorry,
he's a
well, you
great
don't
horse.
fancy Delta Work.
I don't fancy him, no.
Sorry, apologies. I misquote with you there. Don, Delta Work.
Yeah, I like
your Gold Cup fancy.
Yeah. I still think he's the value of the race. Like, look, it's a hell of a Gold Cup. It always is. Album Photo, like it's a strong stat that the back-to-back winners. It's very hard to do it. But Willie Mullins has maximised his chance in running him just once, same as last year. Now, last year it happened by accident because he was supposed to run the Irish Gold Cup. He was taken out because of the ground. This year it's happened by design. He even said at the start of the season, he said he kind of went, Asher, maybe we'll just go the same route as last year, and that's what he's doing. So, look, he's the right. I think is Santini favourite in front of him. No, he's joint favourite. Yeah, Album Photo should be clear favourite in front of Santini, in front of everything. But Delta Work, he's the improving horse. He's won the Savills Chase and the Irish Gold Cup. When he won the Savills Chase, he was just coming back from an injury that he picked up in Down Royal. When he got beaten in Down Royal, he lost a lot of fans, but he's never at his best in his first run. He came home lame that day anyway, so you can allow him that. He got home in the Savills Chase, was even better in the Irish Gold Cup, and I do think he stayed on strongly all the way to the line. I think the step up from 3 miles to 3 miles 2.5 will suit him. He's a Cheltenham Festival winner. He won the Pertemps final as a 5-year-old, which is some feat. And then last year in the RSA Chase, he didn't have the run of the race. He made a mistake at the wrong time. He got squeezed out of it a bit at the second last, and he was still only beaten 2 lengths by top of the game on Santini. And he's only he's still a young horse. He's only 7, an improving 7-year-old. I just think he's got an awful lot in his favour. Clandazobo, I don't think he's a Cheltenham horse. I think he's a Kempton horse. I'd worry about Kemboy in that regard as well. That he's never been at his best at Cheltenham. You'd love him at Aintree and Punchestown, but I just worry about him until he's proven at Cheltenham. I just put a question mark over him. And Presenting Percy, just like he's 9 now, you'd think that last year was his chance. He hasn't had the ideal preparation either. He kind of ran on a bit the last day, but I think he'll have to improve again as a 9-year-old to go and win a Gold Cup, and that's not a given. So no, I think Delta Work, 6-1 about Delta Work. What's he, 5-1? Yeah, he's 6-1 in places maybe.
Lovely.
Salmon and Hansett, yeah.
Donn McClean knows his staying chasers. He's got a terrific record in the race. So it's Delta Work for Donn McClean. David Mullins, what do you like?
I'd love another go on Kemby. Even though I've had 3 around Cheltenham and didn't get him into the first 3, but anyway.
What happened last year?
Russell wiped out last year.
It was a funny sort of.
That wasn't Camboy's fault.
after the fence, wasn't it?
I could see the fence and then I couldn't see the fence, and it wasn't my fault and it wasn't David Russell's fault apparently.
If I were you. You know what I mean?
Like,
That happens.
not to rub salt into the wounds, like it wasn't your fault at all, but it must be, of all races to fall at the Gold Cup, the biggest race, when it's right in front of the stands, you must have been just gutted.
Yeah, but sure. I fell at the
You wouldn't
I
mind
fell
if
at
it was
the third
3-1
last.
shot.
I fell at the third last year before, and I was twice as sick over that, and I was only going to be third. So
Oh, who was that on?
total recall.
Oh, yeah.
So he was a certainty for the test days on that run.
Yeah.
But no, I think Kemby's going to come on with every run again this season.
Do you think is there anything about Cheltenham about him?
Oh, no, I don't think so, and I think it's going to suit. Last year we had what's the big scorpion horse, Nicky Henderson's? Might Bite, Native River, Bells Hill, with something else bouncing out as well. There was just too much pace. Kemby was too free in Leopardstown. There was no way he was going to get his own race. I think this year there doesn't look to be any pace there to me anyway. I'd love another go on.
So you're giving Kemby one more chance.
Probably will that.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
Could you ride him?
I possibly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd say your favourite.
We'll keep our fingers crossed for you. Diarmuid, have you found a solution in the Gold Cup?
Yeah, I'm actually very big on Santini. I'm a huge Santini fan. I thought what the performance that he put up in the RSA last year was ridiculous, considering the really, really bad preparation that he had. He missed a week's work before it. He came into it with an abscess, and he didn't have much work. Like, missed his prep run because of his jabs. The performance that he put up that day was huge. Last time out, his first run of the season, because the first run they admitted that they left him well behind, and he put Bristol de Mai away. Bristol de Mai finished third in that Gold Cup last year, and there's loads more in Santini. He's a horse who's had not that many runs. I mean, he's got less runs in his career than even Champ has. So, like, people are very unforgiving with Santini, considering how much improvement there is still in this horse. I completely agree with Donn. Album Photo should be favourite for this race. There's absolutely no doubt. But Santini is the price he is because he's a bit of a closed book. We don't actually know what's in there. There is a pile of improvement in him. Nicky Henderson said it after the last run, and Santini is one of my more confident picks for the week, fellas.
What do you make of that, Mike?
No chance. I'll actually have a bet with you that if he loses, if any of my two are ahead of him, right, you have to give me €100, and if he's ahead of any of my one, you have to give me €100.
So you want to have 2 horses against my one?
Yeah, one will do. I'll take one. I'll go photo
For €100.
That he'll finish ahead of Santini.
Santini's a good leopard.
I don't care. I'll go photo.
You have a wedding to pay for, Diarmuid.
I do. Yeah. She's there, she's not happy.
Oh, fair play to him. He took the bet.
Jesus. Right, there we go. A lovely little match bet. So you're very confident on Santini. Dean, are you a Santini fan?
I think that's where I come down at the end of the race. That's the horse I come down to. I'm not very confident, though. I think you can make a case for anything from Percy upwards in that betting market, which is fair, and that's what you want in the Gold Cup. So I'm not disappointed about that at all. Santini's the one horse that I don't think the screw has been fully turned yet, and there could be any amount more in that animal. Before he got beat at Cheltenham last year, and the year before that even, the yard they were talking about like they had the second coming at home. So now's his time to go and show that. Beating Bristol de Mai probably, there's no way he would have been fully wound up for that. I don't think he'd still beat him. So Santini would be the one I would come down on. Lost in Translation blew me away earlier this season. I thought he would be the one, but you have to go now for give him a disappointment run to King George. If you do that, then the 6 looks a decent price. I thought Delta Work was falling in winning the races over here. So whilst he's gone and done it, Jack was brilliant on him as well the last day. He won't get to ride him now, which is a big shame for him. Not that Mark Walsh, who's going to get the ride, is in any way, a lesser jockey. It's just he hasn't been on Delta Work and done it on him. So I would rather have Jack, so that would put me off a little bit with him. Albin Fulton coming back to win back-to-back Gold Cups, being magic if he can do it. Took Willie ages to win one. Maybe he can. Santini would be my pick. Not sure it's great value at 7-2, but he's the one who could come forward and deliver something special.
9-2 with BetVictor.
He certainly is. That's better value.
Sam, what do you like in the Gold Cup?
Well, I thought these two were winding me up when they asked to price boost Santini. I like Delta Work on drying ground. Bear in mind this would be one of the End of the week races, hopefully, if you get some slightly better ground, his record on that seems to be better. I think Clandazobo is a completely forgotten
Thank
horse.
the Lord.
At
At least somebody mentioned
He's
him.
had a different preparation this time as well because he went to Ascot, didn't he, beforehand, which was a bit close. I'm not his biggest fan, but 7 to 1.
Cheltenham, doesn't he?
But
Second in
You
the
won't get
Caspian
up in a
Caviar
horse
Gold
box.
Cup.
Yeah, second in the Caspian Caviar Gold Cup.
You won't even get up in
That'll
a
be good
2 box.
Well, hold on a second,
7
right?
to 1's a bit of an insult.
Just on, right? I know I've said this time and time again, but people are saying this horse hates Cheltenham, right? He's ran 5 times at Cheltenham, right? 2 of them were as a juvenile hurdler when he was a big raw horse. He ran.
Forgive that.
He was second in juvenile hurdle, and then he ran the Triumph. A Triumph hurdle that worked out spectacularly well.
Yeah, no problem with
He
trying.
was second in the Dipper to Whisper, right? Second in the Dipper
He's
to
a
Whisper.
handicapper.
He
not
won the
great.
RSA.
All right, great.
Maybe.
Then he was.
He won the Hennessy.
He didn't
Sorry,
win the
that's
RSA, he was
it.
second in my point, the RSA.
Sorry, he was sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
second.
All right, dear.
Actually,
Second to
he
win.
was only second, and
Yeah.
Mike went for a.
And he won the Hennessy, and then he was top weight in the Caspian Caviar Gold Cup. He was second. I just thought he was too young of a horse to be carrying top weight, right? He ran the Gold Cup last year, right?
Yep.
Now, just watch the race again, right? He had the perfect position on the inside, down the back straight. He actually went after Mike Bite and Native River too early. Third last was omitted. He was on the inside, then he had to go way out, then come back in, then he made his move too quick. I actually thought that run could be upgraded. He didn't go to Ascot this year in between the King George and the race. And look, I thought he was brilliant in the King George. Maybe he's just a Kempton horse, maybe he is. But Jesus, you're getting a great price to find out that he's not. I think he is the value in the race, Clandazobo. But I obviously, you don't agree. So you're 1, 2, 3 in the Gold Cup. Donn McClean.
I'd say Delta Work to beat Album Photo and something else running on for third.
That's all right. Forecast is fine. Mikey.
Album Photo lost in translation and presenting Percy.
David.
By Album Photo and whatever Barry Gardy rides. I'd say it could end up being Chris's dream or something like that. He'll make a bit of money somewhere else.
Okay, interesting. Diarmuid, obviously Santini is your one.
And
Yeah,
it's like-
Santini, Delta Work and an album photo.
Lovely. Sam.
Clandazobo, Delta Work, Album Photo.
Dean.
Santini lost in translation and album photo.
And I'll go Clandazobo, Delta Work and presenting Percy.